following training is sponsored by the Niagara Library System. We serve our member libraries in Niagara, Orleans, and Genesee counties. Please visit your local library homepage and use your library card to get access to streaming videos, downloadable music, audiobooks, ebooks, and even more from the comfort of your own home. Thank you.
Hello. Good to see everybody today. I've moved the microphone yet again, so we'll see how this goes. I've also turned it down because I have a tendency to talk quite loudly. I'm looking at it right now. And just to show you what I'm looking at, it is the Blue Yeti microphone, or the Blue microphone from Yeti. And it's a very nice microphone and stand, so we'll see how it works. One thing I saw on the net in my travels that interested me was actually that you can request your data from Amazon. It's a specific site, so you just go ahead and search request my data from Amazon in almost any search engine. Now, when I searched for it, the first link happened to be the correct one. But make sure that you're on the actual Amazon page. So once you do this, you want to make sure that you're on Amazon and not some spoof site. But this is the customer service page on Amazon.com, and you can see the link here that it does say HTTPS. It does go directly to Amazon.com, and it is the help and customer service site on Amazon. It says here on the page, you can then request your personal information, and you go right to the link. Now, these are screenshots, so that's why my mouse isn't turning into a hand or whatnot. But you can go right to the link that says request my data. You select the data that you wish to receive, and you submit the request. Now, you also do have to go, they will actually ask you in the email that you signed up for, or that you log into with Amazon, you get all your Amazon receipts and returns and things like that. Amazon will send a link to that email address, and you do have to click that validation link in order for them to actually process your request. And once your request is processed, a secure download link will be sent to the email address associated with the account, and so on. Okay. So scrolling down, once I did all that, I said the data request was created. I was almost done. You're protecting your data's top priority, so on and so forth. They would send a confirmation link to my email, and you'll need to click that, of course, which I just said, to verify the request. And of course, the link expires in 5 days. So you have to kind of do this, one right after another. Once you do click the link, you will get the data request confirmation, and they do process it. And you can see right here, we will provide your information as soon as we can. Usually this should not take more than a month. So that is a lot of data. And just to show you too, they do kind of redirect you. They're like, well, if you have questions, you can get a lot of data from your own account screen. And of course, so you went ahead and this is what you see: your orders, gift cards, digital services, your messages, payments, login and security. If you're a Prime member, your archived orders, profiles, different lists that you may have. You can contact customer service. And this is exactly what it looks like in your account. So that's nice. And below that, then they have all of the information underneath. So it starts with just kind of the general category. So if you go to ordering and shopping preferences, you can change things like your address, your Amazon day delivery, the way you pay, your one-click settings, all of these different things, all of your digital content and devices. So if you have an Alexa, you can manage them here. Your content and devices, I do want to mention, because this is a question that has come up. If people borrow Kindle books from the library, they do ask, for example, where does that go? If I can't find it in, let me dig out my phone here. If I can't find it on my Kindle app on my phone, where is it? Or where can I actually can I load it on my TV so I can read it, or some other device? And the answer is, of course you can. You do have to log into your Amazon account, and then you go to manage your content and devices. It's even if you have purchased a Kindle book, but certainly if you've borrowed a Kindle book from the library, this is where you can send the different books. So actually, now that I'm talking about that, let me bring up the live page and see what happens. On the live page here, you would go underneath where it says hello and then your name or you're signed in. It says, you can see here, accounts and lists. If I simply hover my mouse over that or tap it, I can go right here to what's called content and devices. So I'm going to click there. And when I click there, I see books, apps, videos, user dictionaries and user guides, things like that. I'm going to click on my books. So I have a list of different books here. I happen to be reading this particular one, Commune, a post-apocalyptic survival thriller by Joshua Gayu here. And if I want to, you can see here I have several choices. I can deliver to a certain device or remove from a device, and that includes any of like the Kindle Paperwhites, any Kindle product you have, or the app. So let's just say I keep holding this up. Let's say that I am reading this particular book on the app, and I don't know, my eyes are getting tired, or I want to read it on a bigger screen. So say I want to actually read it on this computer that I'm looking at right this second. There's a couple of things I can do. You can always mark it as read, and that means that you finished the book, okay? But under more actions, when I click here, it gives me more actions. Delete, download and transfer, clear the furthest page read, or I can add or remove for a collection. I can purchase the Audible, order details, gift note, things like that. But the thing I want to highlight for this at this moment is read now. And if I go ahead and click that, what will happen is the book actually opens in a new tab right in the browser that I'm using, and I can see actually this is currently the current page that I'm at right now on the Kindle app. So if I want to read the book, I have, of course, my page turners. I can click on the little arrows that appear as I move my mouse around on the screen. If I want to, let me just see here. If I want to change the font size or anything like that, what I did was I clicked just in the middle of one of the pages, and we get this little navigation bar that pops up, and I can see the table of contents here. I can search for things in the book. I have to admit I use the search a lot because I have a tendency to forget names. So when they say a name, I go, who is that? So I'll search for the name and then go, oh yeah, that was this person or that person. Okay, and I can look at the notebook, and importantly here too, I can actually change some of the reading settings. So for example, let's say I maybe don't want to wear my glasses or whatever, and I want the font size bigger or smaller. I want to change different things. I can click on the little double A's. I can actually change the font style. So you can see right now it says Bookerly. There's Amazon Ember. So here's Amazon Ember. It's a little bit different. They have the Open Dyslexic font as well, which actually changes the shapes of the letters so that they're not as easily flippable by people who have dyslexia. So it's a really cool thing. You can certainly read it very clearly, and then if you have anyone with any trouble, they can certainly read it too. Great. Okay. I'm going to go back to Bookerly just to keep it the same. All right, so here's Bookerly. I can go ahead and increase or decrease the font size. So you can see here, I can actually change the page color as well. So if I'm reading in the dark, I can actually have a black background, a darker background with a lighter tone. I actually generally prefer the green. So just regular dark font with a green background. That's what I almost always use. You can have two columns, a single column, and you can even change the margins where I never really thought about this, but if you have someone who is maybe a reluctant reader, or they would look at something and go, oh my gosh, that's just too many words to see, you can actually change some of these settings and actually help people kind of encourage them to read, because there's not nearly as many words. It's not as intimidating as something else might be, or smaller font, or I know I look at some books and they're you look at them and they're about this big and the font size is about yay big, and you're just you want to just hang your head. So you can get rid of some of those insecurities or some of that anxiety with these. So that's just something you can do. So certainly they will also synchronize. So whatever I read on here in the cloud, when I pull up the same book on my Kindle app, it'll go ahead and say, you've read to this, do you want to synchronize? And you can say yes, and it'll pop you over to the last page that you actually read, which is great. I also noticed that as I was playing around with like the font and the color and that, it did change where I was. It brought me back to the first page of chapter 3. So you can see that's the chapter. So if I go ahead, I can actually click through, I hope. And as they're talking about different things, and so I can kind of find where I was in there. I can also put in up here on the right hand corner, I can put in a bookmark, and there is also the little hamburger menu, which gives me a reader menu. I can then synchronize this to the furthest page. I can go to a particular page, or I can see any legal notices as well. So again, under your Amazon account, you would go to manage your content and devices, and then you can actually synchronize your reading and read books on different devices. So I hope you found this was interesting, and if you did, great. If you didn't, let me know. If you did find it interesting, let me know too, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye now.